We recently added an alert function to the screener, something that I've always wanted, and I know that I will use a lot. I'm sure that it is something that will also interest you. Basically, an alert is a limit that you can set in the screener, and as soon as that limit is exceeded, you will receive an email that has been exceeded and with some information on the company. I already created a few alerts, so I'm just going to show you what the alert dashboard basically looks like. You'll see, if you're a long-time user of the screener, two new icons appear on the left-hand side. My Notes, which I'll tell you about in a separate video, and the My Alerts icon. If you click on it, the alerts dashboard will open. You'll see I created a few alerts already. Here's, for example, one for British American Tobacco. The closing price, if it falls below 25.30, then I will get an alert. This gray field here just tells you what the current value is to make it easier for you if you want to adjust your alert. Just to change it, just click on the little pencil. Or if you think that an alert's no longer valid, you can just click on the dustbin and delete it there. You'll see also, these are the active alerts, the ones in the top box. At the bottom, it says triggered alerts in the last month. Here are two alerts that I set that were triggered already. And as soon as an alert is triggered, then it moves to the triggered alert list and it's not active anymore. That's very important. You won't get any more emails about that alert. If you want to reinstate it, you just have to edit it over here. If you edit it, these two triggered alerts will still stay here, but an active alert will jump to the active alert box in the top here. And as I said, these triggered alerts are kept for 30 days and then they're deleted. It's just to give you a bit of a record of what alerts have been triggered. Should you get an email and you can't look at it immediately, for example, you can go to these alerts and you can see what alerts were triggered in the last week, for example. Let me show you how to create your alerts. An alert is always created from the company dashboard, which means you either have to search for a company. Let's see, for example, we'll create one for Tesla. To do that, you have to just load the company, and once it's loaded, to get to the company dashboard, click on the company name. You'll see at the top right there's a box or little button that says add an alert. Then a box pops up where you can see it's for Tesla. The metric, that's basically the ratio or the indicator that you can use. Here you can see we've got all the growth indicators, we've got close prices, dividend growth, free cash flow yield, gross margin, all the ratios, or most of the ratios in the screener that make sense. Here's some momentum indicators, price index, volatility, shareholder yield, basically anything you can think of. So let's see, for example, if we say that if Tesla, which doesn't pay a dividend at the moment, rises above 1%. In other words, as soon as Tesla starts paying a dividend, I want to receive an email. You click confirm for the alert to be created, and then you'll see there's an alert for Tesla. If the dividend yield rises above 1, you'll get an email. To go back to the list, you go back to Tesla. I just want to show you what the price alerts look like. They are quite a special alert number. Just to quickly get back, if we say earnings yield. Earnings yield is a normal ratio. You'll see that the earnings yield is 1,400% for Tesla. I'm not quite sure why. But then you can see if it rises above a certain value or falls below a certain value, you can have an alert entered. But closing price is a special one. If you look at the close price, there's 6 different conditions that you can specify. The Tesla price is $266. If you click, if it rises above, say for example, you can say if it rises above $300, you want to get an alert, or if it falls below 250, you want to get an alert. If it increases more than 5%, you'll get an alert. So for example, if it's 5% above 266, then you'll get an alert. Or if it falls below the percentage, calculated from the price today. Then there's also trailing stop loss values. Now, trailing stop loss from the top basically follows the stock price, records the highest high since you created the alert. And if it falls by the percentage that you selected, say 20%, then you will get an email alert. But there's also another case, and our programmer programmed this. I didn't mention it, but I thought it's a very good idea. If you're waiting for a company to turn around, so in other words, it's the same thing as a trailing stop loss from the top, but one from the bottom. It measures a percentage increase from the bottommost point that a company reached. So say, for example, a company's price is relatively low and it keeps going lower, then that lowest value will keep on be recording, and the 20% will be measured as soon as the 20% up is measured from the lowest point of the stock price, and you'll get an alert. This is just to give you an indication of all the alerts that you can create. And then just to show you what an alert looks like, I created an alert. You can see these 2 alerts have been triggered, but I want to show you what an email looks like. You'll get an email that looks similar to this one. It says Quant Investing, your alert was triggered in the subject to just tell you what it's all about. And then you'll say for Imperial Brand, the close price metric rule rise above 1850 was triggered. And it was triggered with a value of 1855, which means the stock price rose above 1850 to 1855, and then the note was triggered. Here's another interesting feature. I don't have any notes for Imperial Brands, but if I did have any notes, then the notes will appear here. And I thought that was a very interesting function, or a very useful function to you, that you can make notes on a company, say for example a company that you put on your watch list a long time ago, that you only want to buy that company if it falls below $200 or so, say for Tesla for example, and it may not be triggered for 6 months, but you wrote down your thoughts on the company. So as soon as it's triggered, you can read your thoughts, and then you can go back and revisit the investment case for Tesla. That's just a quick summary to tell you about the alerts and what they can do for you. As always, if you have any questions, click the Need Help box, the green one on our website. It's always on every page, and type in your question and we'll answer your question as soon as possible.